So the last component of Summit that I'm going to talk about is this idea of projects. Projects is where students spend most of their time working with their teachers and classmates on rich real life experiences that actually help them develop skills and access the content in an applied way. So that sounds very vague. What does that actually mean? How does it look like to be in a project class? Well, you're going to have some kids engaged in a project to use the content with the teacher as an expert, but not the source of all knowledge. More of a guide that helps the students make their own discoveries and point them to resources that they can use to get them there. And the there that they're supposed to get to is not so much learning the content, but using the content to practice real life skills. On the side, outside of the classroom, you have that mentor, remember, who's going to be working with the student to make sure they're getting their project done too. So what is a typical project look like? So as an example, let's say in a science class, you might be learning about geology in 7th grade and learning about earthquakes. And yes, in your self-directed student learning time, you may have to pass an assessment on earthquakes, and you have to study, use resources, learn that content. In the class time, the core class time, the teacher may help you with that. They may do some reviews, some workshops, but the majority of the time you're going to spend in class isn't going to be learning about earthquakes, what they are, how they work, and all of that. It's going to be about using earthquakes in a real life scenario to learn skills that actually apply to real life. So, how does that look like? So, you could be, for example, involved in a project, an engineering design project, where you have to come up with a structure that can survive a shake table to simulate what engineers have to do to build better structures to survive earthquakes. So you're going to create that project and test it, collect data, design it, and then after you collect the data, analyze it, share with other people, convince them that your actual design work, communicate with them about it, and then maybe assess or evaluate how your teammates' projects did. All of those skills are the transferable skills that actually matter for real life: communication, using data, analyzing data, proving yourself right using data, right? Communicating with other people about it and convincing them, or evaluating their own work, working collaboratively to do all of this. That is those 4 C's: critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, and collaboration. So those cognitive skills are the point of the class. They're what the project is all about. There's 36 of them. We'll talk more about them in another video. But the project itself is the fun thing that you do that mimics real life in order to get you there. And the content is just the backdrop that we use to facilitate that. And so that's kind of how it works. Now, to see this in real action, there's another video here that you can watch. It's in the description down below that you can click on to see how that looks like in a real classroom. And we're going to do one more video about these components where we review all of it together on the next one. Until then, keep on summiting.